Oh, Formula 1, how we all love you. Formula 1 is probably one of the biggest and most popular sports in the world. Definitely the most popular motorsport, anyway. But as you see, one of the biggest attractions, other than the racing, of course, is the cars themselves. These are hybrid aerodynamic monsters, which teams will put hundreds of millions into their development and their aerodynamics and all sorts of other stuff to basically make their cars the fastest ever. Which had me wondering, F1 cars are made out to be these unique and crazy one-off pieces of art. However, they're no different to a Volkswagen Golf, for example. In comparison to my Golf, they both have 1.6 litre engines, turbochargers, 4 wheels, and that's that. Okay, maybe that's it. And well, F1 cars also have diffusers, and so does my Golf. Anyway, when these striking similarities came to me, I kind of just decided something that it reminded me of this, how annoying it is when you're on a racetrack or whatever, driving your Golf, and Max Verstappen overtakes you. It is so frustrating and annoying. If only you could have a car that was fast enough to keep up with a Formula 1 car, while still looking discreet and being able to drive on the road. And that's exactly what I decided to do. With the power of Assetto Corsa car tuner, I was able to get the best of a Formula 1 car and the best of a Volkswagen Golf and absolutely mash them up together. What we got can only be described as a masterpiece. This is the Volkswagen Gol F1, or the Golf 1, depends on whatever you want to call it. It is based on a mod of a tuning setup of that mod, basically. For the record, I don't own any of these mods. When I show off the rest of this product, I will show who made what. I can't get the original Golf mod for some reason. I can't find it online at the moment, but I'd say if I looked a tiny bit harder, I could definitely find it again. Basically, I found it on Assetto land, but now it's gone. Anyway, within that mod, there was a separate tune that another gamer had made, and it was basically 4-wheel drive, 2.5 litres, 700 horsepower, automatic gearbox, that sort of jazz. And so I decided that could be the perfect base for what I'm going to do. So basically, I took out this 2 litre, which was stroked to 2.5 litre, and put in the 1.6 litre turbo hybrid engine from the Ferrari SF70H. I basically did this, so I had to unpack both cars basically, so I was able to add in a few more files such as ERS, DRS, that sort of stuff. So yeah, this Golf has ERS and DRS. It weighs about 1500 kilograms. I actually got whatever the car's original weight was, took away what the engine would have weighed, and then added the hybrid power unit. So I actually was quite realistic enough with that. And then upped the braking power. And then I made adjustments to the drivetrain, the engine, the power, the tires, because this car now has F1 tires on it, even though it doesn't look like it. And I just tried to fix everything to try and make the car better to drive, and ultimately without breaking it. Now let's see this car on track, shall we? Honestly, it is. This mod is actually my first kind of car tuning mod, hence why a few things aren't 100% correct with it. But honestly, I was quite impressed how easy it was, really. I think to kind of get a basic sort of job, just using the engine swap mods, what have you, it's perfectly easy to go on. This is the beginning of one. That last lap there was the first of the flyers. This is the second of the flyers. That was a 147.1. That's what this Golf can do. Wake me up when a Volkswagen Golf does 147 around Monza. No, thank you. Anyway, as we are approaching the Curva Grande, Curva BS, and whatever. I don't even read Italian. Never mind speak it. As we see, we approach the second hard braking zone. This track, the car literally fighting for grip. We just take the curve a little bit too much, but nothing to worry about. As we then exit that very clean. Then we approach the Lesmos. The first Lesmo handled, I thought, like a bit of a boss. And then we have the second Lesmo here. This is the one I prefer a bit more because there's a bit more room for error. And then right on the loud pedal, as you can see, I don't even know what res we're at because obviously the thing only goes up to 8 and like it's idle at 3000. It's quite funny. But as you see, we're approaching 300 kilometers an hour, and then we go loud on the hard on the brakes again. Again, just about making on the first part was scary. And then the second part is a bit of a fight as well. Literally, the engine wants to do one thing, the car wants to do another. But again, another nice long straight. This is where the Golf seems to come into its own, basically, because it's got a big, massive 900 horsepower F1 engine attached to it somewhere. And then we go to the Parabolica. Hug the inside line. Go a bit wide though. I think we hugged it a little bit too much. But nothing to worry about as the car absolutely just takes off. And then we're approaching 240, 250, 260, 270. I can't even keep up with the type of speed this car is doing now. And then that was a 145-1. And I think, if I remember correctly here, this is why you should always brake before the 150 barrier. And that was the end of that. Now let's get this thing onto some races against the car that it inherited its engine to. Okay, now we are approaching the countdown. This is our first of our races. We have the Ferrari SF70H going up against the Volkswagen Golf. As their green lights, we're just awaiting them any minute now. And away we go. Golf has an epic start. Going down to turn 1. Absolutely no time at all. 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds flat. The Ferrari has to yield, just not the acceleration it needs. Although it did see the team to make a move at turn 1, it backed out of it wisely. As we approach the first chicane, neither car having any damage so far. And as we approach Cavalcante, the Ferrari's already making a move. And the Ferrari gets ahead of the GOL F1. And it's miles ahead as we approach the second and third and fourth corners. Ferrari braking much later, huge benefit for it. Meanwhile, the Volkswagen Golf has to brake a little earlier, a lot earlier actually. And then, as we approach first Lesmo, the F1 car is already missing from the Volkswagen Golf G. As you see, one of the wheels going off the air there. Crazy, crazy. But now, again, the Formula 1 car's away as the second Lesmo approaches. We now also have the Volkswagen Golf just more or less approaching Ascari, doing speeds of well over 150 miles an hour. It'd be about 180 by the time it gets to the braking zones. I say that 304 kilometers are clocked. The Golf gradually just licking its wounds. It's just trying to get through Ascari and get the rest done clean. The F1 car appeared there for a split second, but it's proven to be just in a league of its own. After all, it is a Formula 1 car. What were you actually expecting, you idiot? Anyway, the Golf is approaching the very squirmishly towards the Parabolica. We have a relatively clean Parabolica, I must say, although it wasn't the fastest. And as it approaches the finish line, accepting defeat, about 1 minute 48 seconds. I believe the Formula 1 car finished, was it 18 seconds in front of the Volkswagen, but we'll have to wait and see as all out better. And it approaches the final straight and crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 30.79. But yeah, that is the end of this duel. Not looking good for the GOL F1. Right, now we move on to the drag race section. As you see, we have both cars lined up here on one side. However, when I recorded this footage, I forgot to save the replay, and for some reason I have no sound. But thankfully, I have been able to improvise. Anyway, let's get a move on. This is first of 3 heats. It's a quarter-mile drag race, and we'll see how the first one goes on. It's only a matter of time before the lights go out. And away we go. Good start from the Golf. It's the same with the F1 car, they're both neck and neck, but the Golf is just the all-wheel drive and the boost of the ERS is giving it the first upper hand advantage, and it takes the first heat of the race. Oh, away we go here. Golf had a terrible enough start, and the F1 car much better on the ground. Volkswagen is slowly catching though, but as it seems here, as we approach here, it just wasn't enough. And the F1 car takes that, so it is 1-1 going into the final race. And away we go. Great start from the Golf, as it's absolutely flying now. It is leaving the Ferrari SF70H for absolute dead. It is flying up and across the line, and the F1 car didn't even appear on the back screen there. And that was a crazy quick quarter mile. I think it was about 9 seconds. And so the winner of the drag race section is the GOL F1. So that is everything. I hope you liked watching this video. I hope you liked what I did with the car. If you want me to do any more of these, I'll be more than happy to. I absolutely had an absolute blast, to be honest, making this. And yeah, I think the end product is something I'm quite proud of. I will put like a little download link if you want to download the car. I'm also currently working on a unique track that I'm making, but it's been working on it for a few months now. But it'll be another while before it is released. If you like these Assetto Corsa videos, just leave a like and let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and do leave a like because it helps me out with the algorithm big time. Now, that is all for now, folks, and I hope to see you guys all very, very, very soon.